Too much. Are you going to control the on and off? Right? Yeah, that's on the moment.
So welcome everyone today to Pemberton Sporting Complex, the clash between home side, the Southerners, up against Imperials, the visitors. One game the difference as captains meet in the middle. Very important clash for both sides. Imperials have won the toss and they'll kick to the northern end, club room's end. So Imperials sit one game in front of Southerners, one of the teams in last year's grand final. So if Southerners can get over the line here today, been decimated by injuries this year after making the grand final last year, and all of a sudden from third down to sixth are all on the same amount of points, which makes for an interesting finish to the season. 4 games to go after today. If Imperials can get over the line, they've been playing terrific football, and they'll give themselves a nice gap going into the last 4 games of the season, having to make either Deanmill or Southerners. Deanmill last year's premiers and Southerners their opponents. Nearly have to win the last 4 games to push one of those teams out, either Imperials and or Tigers. In the earlier games, convincing win to Southerners in the Colts, even after quarter time, but they ran out winners by 72 points, 15 goals 13 to 5 goals 1. And the reserves, well, they just finished. Southerners a little bit short on numbers, so had a few league players playing back. They won by 8 points, 7 goals 12 to 7 goals 4. And the games yesterday, well, Boyup's probably their best effort so far. They didn't get the win. Went down to Tigers by 27 points, 13 goals 10 to 9 goals 7. And Bridgetown really took it up to the undefeated Kojonup. Kojonup getting over the line in the second half. Bridgetown led at half-time by 12 points, 8 goals 11 to 6 goals 11. So, funnily enough, with the fixturing, they play each other again next week over at Kojonup. So, there's a fair chance this year, the way it's panning out, that those 2 teams will play each other 5 times, unless something dramatic happens. 3 times in the qualifying round. They'll definitely play each other in the second semi-final, and one of them will have to win the prelim to get through to the grand final to have another crack. So it's a really interesting round of footy. We're just about to get underway here. Light rain overlooks magnificent. A little bit different to the last time we were here with the Dane Swan match, where it was considerably colder and a lot muddier. But as we said, Imperials, Southerners decimated by injury. So 5 or 6 players having to double up. We're just about to get underway. Umpire holds the ball aloft. Just waiting for confirmation. As we said, skipper Brandy Armstrong for Imperials won the toss. Collins in the ruck, up against Brisbane. And here we go. Umpire throws the ball up. Brisbane wins the ball down. Doesn't favour anyone. Myers sockers it off the ground. First back is Stackpole. Played a terrific game in the Colts for Southerners. Ball in disputed halfback. Spills over to Myers. Just chucks it onto his boot. Comes to Wademan. He'll snap on goal. First goal. Has it stuck in? It has. Wademan, after the first centre clearance, picks up the loose ball. Spent most of the time in his early part of his career. Hang on, umpires conferring. Let's see what's going to happen here. Goal umpire signal to goal. Confirmation is a point. So, Pi Tyndale, you've seen it went across the goal post. So, a let off there for Southerners. Ball to be brought back in. Barnsby goes short. Dangerous kick. Finds McRae. Still inside defensive 50. Marking in front of Melenis. Being called to play on now. Runs his full measure. Goes short. It'll go to a contest. In front was Omade. Spills to Ben Dotty. Could have been taken without it. And free kick will go the way of Tom Ben Dotty. Right on defensive 50 for Southerners. 1 point the margin. It's a player short. Looking there for Hughes. The emerging youngster. Outmuscled by the skipper Armstrong for Imperials. Ball spills over the boundary line. Right in front of the commentary box. Ball to be thrown in. Collins up against Brisbane. Couple of big bulls. Collins gets in front. Hall met by his own player Danks. In comes Thexton. Lays a tackle along with Hughes on Johnson. Umpire to throw the ball up once again. Collins, Brisbane. They'll go at it all day. This time Brisbane wins it down. Favours Armstrong. Sockers it off the ground to Gizzarelli. Gets a handball back to Danks. Tackle by Thexton. Tackle lingered. Free kick will go the way of Danks for Imperials. Still too far out to score. And called to go around, back on his mark. So Thexton stands the mark, 60 metres out. Has Franklin leading to the pocket. Open goal square now. He's going to go that way. Gains his measure. Decides to go for the pass. Looks for Gizzarelli. In the cross comes Myers. Picks the ball up nicely. Snaps on goal. Has it got the distance? And through for another minor score. So peppering away. Imperials, only score of the match so far. 2 behinds. The home side yet to score. Yet to go forward to 50, forward to centre. Ball to be brought back in by Barnsby. Barnsby has lead short. Decides to go that way. That's Thexton. He takes the mark. Still deep inside defensive 50. Has Ben Dotty running for him. It's a good kick. And right on defensive 50, he takes the mark in front of Gizzarelli. So just trying to chip the ball around. It's short. Goes back to Smith. So Smith now hits the ground as he kicks it. Puts it off his kick. The mark taken by Armstrong. Ever reliable skipper for Imperials, puts it to the top of 50, looking there for Wilson, calls his teammate out, Myers, and takes the mark. So Keenan Wilson, directly in front, he'll kick from just inside 50. And this will test him. Solidly built player, terrific player. Gives Imperials the spark that they need. Doesn't matter what end of the ground he plays. So he'll kick 48 metres out. In he comes now, crosses the 50, gets close to the man on the mark, high up and under. Is it going to make the distance? Right at the top of the square and rush through for another behind. Ball brought back into play straight away by Giannoco and finds Ben Dotty, far side of the ground. Working hard inside 50 and goes short, finds a skipper in Thompson. So right on defensive 50 and finds Hughes. Player wide, still too far to go. We can get it on the next one. Goes inboard to the corridor to Thexton. Now they can come out to Stackpole. Has metres on his direct opponent, Danks. Stackpole now runs his full measure. Drives the ball long, looks for Fox, carries him. And lands in the arms of Hancock. Samuel Hancock goes wide, finds Morgan. Morgan wide again, and Johnson. So the far side of the ground. Smith nearly smothers the ball. It's a good-looking kick. East drops the mark, bounces off his chest, goes out of bounds. The free kick will go the way of Southerners. Player short, goes over his head. That's Smith. Comes back for second effort on Johnson. Umpire will throw the ball up. Centre wing, 3 points to nil. Early stages of the first quarter. Big Collins up against Brisbane. Brisbane wins the ball down towards the boundary line. Armstrong's tackled. Good tackle. So Ridley wins the free kick. The first foray forward inside 50. That's a terrific pass from Ridley. And he finds Fox. And Fox has a player out wide in Thompson. Tighter angle. Only a couple of metres closer to goal. And the skipper, Seaton Thompson, will kick 45 metres out. On the boundary, but the right side for a right footer. So if you're going to do it, with a dry ball's the best. Early stages, first quarter. First look at goal for the home side. The skipper. In he comes now. Runs around the man on the mark. He's got a fair piece of that. It's made the distance. Through for a minor score. So they're on the board, the home side with the behind. Play on straight away. Brought out a fullback, finds Johnson, far side of the ground. Goes wide, finds Morgan by hand. Looks inboard to Hall, carries him over the top to East. East couldn't pick the ball up. Now it's out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Centre wing, 1 point to 3. No majors so far. 6.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Collins this time favours Myers doing the ruck work. Hits it over towards Danks, paddles it out to Armstrong, high up and under. Hughes runs back with the flight of the ball and spalls over the boundary line. Be thrown in 60 metres out from Imperials' goal. So not quite the start we expected. No goals as such. 3 behinds to 1. 2 points the margin. This time Brisbane does the ruck work. Comes over to Johnson. His kick is smothered. Gets a handball to Danks. He'll put it inside 50. Looking there for Waderman, and Waderman takes the chest mark. A kick from 45 metres out. Played, as I said, played most of his career as a backman, but looks really comfortable up forward. Charlie Waderman directly in front. Dale McRae stands the mark. This to get the opening major. Crosses 50 now. Kick from 45. Kick's on its way. It's a good-looking kick. Has it got the distance? It has. Just carries the pack. This time it's a major. And Wademan gets his name on the board. So the first major goes to the visitors, Imperials. They go to 1 goal 3-9. And Southern is just a solitary behind. 8 points the margin. 8 minutes gone in the first quarter. Just playing in front there, Wademan. It's changed the whole side around. Him being up front. Malentis is there as well. Franklin just adds that ground polish. So 8 minutes in, and took a while to get the first major. Come the way of Imperials. They've been peppering. And the ball back in the middle now. Collins up against Brisbane. Brisbane wins it down. Favours Omaday, wrapped up by Hall. Umpire to come and throw the ball up again. For stalemate in the middle. Brisbane stands his ground, wins the ball down, comes towards Omaday. Back out to Danks. Ball still in dispute. Stackpole's there. Handball out towards Barnsby. High up and under. Wilson gets his player out of the way. In Jasper takes the chest mark. Goes in the middle of the ground. Dangerous kick. Myers puts his body in the line. Spills out to Armstrong. Wrapped up by Thexton. Umpire said no prior. Ball to be thrown up. Centre wing. Good tackle there by Thexton. Ball's one out, comes to Thexton, getting himself involved, been taken high, who win the free kick. Johnson lets him know. Anthony Thexton has come off an hour of warm-up in the reserves. Has players short, looks down for Thompson, dangerous kick, carries him over Jasper, over him, back out to Wilson. Been terrific playing across half-back, breaks a couple of tackles, kicks the ground. As he goes, in comes Wilson once again. Huge tackle on him by Kabassi. Umpire will do it all over again. Centre wing. 8 points the margin. Early stages. Brisbane gets that big frame in front. Taps it out towards Myers. Comes out to Danks. Danks gets a handball to Hall. Spins around. Gets onto his left boot. Inside 50 they go again. Wademan first to the ball. Bounces nicely for him. Handballs over to Armstrong. Armstrong has a player in the middle. Misses both. Spills over towards Myers. How will it sit? Big tackle by Barnsby. Comes back to Johnson. Snap. Goal. Terrific goal by Johnson. Jordan Johnson. He gets his name on the board. And now they're starting to work into this. Imperials. 2 goals. 3, 15, 14 points to margin. Suddenly it's just one behind. Terrific attack on the footy by Wademan. Found some space. Handball over to Armstrong. He had 2 targets. I'm not sure if Johnson was the target he was aiming for, but he was in the right place at the right time. And he snapped truly from 25 metres out. And Imperials starting to work into their game now. And Wilson's been terrific across half-back. East now in the ruck. Collins jumps over him, uses his frame. No ruckman wins it down. Thexton's in there, lays a tackle on Danks. Umpire to do it all over again. They go. This time East wins it down. Danks wrapped up. Playing as a ruck rover today, Danks. Last game I did, he played as a ruckman. Very good player. East taps it back to the opposing ruckman in Collins. Tries to get the handball over to Hughes. Breaks one tackle. Gets it back to Collins. Inside 50 they go. Marks missed there by Morgan. Comes towards Wilson. Morgan gets the ball back. Handballs to Ridley on the opposition team. Comes to Hughes. Hughes tries to go towards Thompson. And Hughes has been taken high as he got rid of the ball. Receives a free kick right on 50. Lachlan Hughes. It's a relay free kick. It's about 5 metres from where Hughes got taken down. And it goes to Seaton Thompson. Probably too far out to score. Looking for the leads. Nearly run down as he kick it. Gizzarelli tries to claim the ball. Unlucky not to receive the free kick there, Gizzarelli. And or the stand rule. Either. Umpire let it go. Ball to be thrown up right on forward 50 for Southerners. Collins wins the ball down. Stacks on the mill. One of them is Ridley. Umpire to do it all over again. East goes up. jumps high, wins it down. In comes Wilson. He tries to push Jasper off the ball, comes to Hughes, gets onto his left boot, pushed as he kicked. And the ball goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick to go the way of Hancock for Imperials. So not a lot happening at the moment. Imperials with the only 2 goals of the opening quarter. Hancock runs around the man on the mark, gets plenty of purchase on that, gets it well outside 50, spills over the back, handball comes to Collins. Kabassi gets it towards Ridley, bounces off his boot, favours Hall in the middle of the ground, could have been taken high. Receives a free kick in the middle of the ground, has a player wide, that's Beebe. Good kick too, finds Beebe. Beebe has Johnson running for him, decides to go in the middle of the ground, looks for Armstrong, carries over him towards East, comes towards Omade, breaks a couple of tackles, high up and under, asking a lot of the youngster Gill. Morgan pushes it down to his own advantage. Now Gill has some help through Fox. Fox tries to handball back to Gill. Now they're out through Danks. Danks has plenty of options. One of them is Wilson. Wilson gets a handball over to East. Middle of the ground, lays a tackle. Max East. Umpire will throw the ball up right on the half-forward line for Southerners. Yet to score a major halfway through the first quarter. Fox this time does the ruck work. Hughes pushes back, has Johnson for company. Being pushed in the back there. Handball comes back out to East. Has time to steady. Looks wide for Armstrong. Armstrong runs under the ball. Dale McRae's there, the champion from Southerners, making his return to footy this year. Armstrong wins out on the day. Goes short. Gets it to Melenis. Melenis looks inboard for Franklin. Has a couple on his teammate. His teammate probably put him off there, Franklin. Comes back out to Johnson. Jordan Johnson can't pick the ball up. Hotly pursued there by Smith. Comes to Ridley. Gets around a couple. Has time to settle. Looks down for Collins. And it hits the ample chest of Dean Collins. He goes wide straight away. Finds Thompson. Thompson has Gill running on a searching lead. Good kick. Gill misses the mark he should have taken. Morgan affects the tackle, comes back to Thompson. Terrific smother by Keenan Wilson for Imperials. Ball out of bounds. It's a terrific smother. The youngster Gill had Morgan on his hammer. Misses the mark. Ball in dispute. Collins gets front position, comes out towards Omade. Morgan's there. Omade soccers it off the ground towards Fox. The big fella, long way down for him. Handball over to Gill. Can he make up for it? Does so. Gets it to Omade. Open goal square. They're on the board, the home side. Terrific work from big Trent Fox. Long way down for him. Picked it up off the ground. Handball to Gill. And Gill seen Omade in the goal square. Unselfishly gave it to him. Made no mistake from point blank range. And that margin back to 8 points. Great to see the youngster, second effort, got the ball back. He's got some serious leg speed. That's Riley Gill. We'll be joined shortly by Connor Ipson from the Imperials Footy Club. Ball in the middle of the ground. Run down by Constable. In the ruck, the youngster. In comes Armstrong hard. Free kick's going to go the way of Armstrong for tunnelling. So Brandy Armstrong, the skipper. And Jasper just let the umpire know that he wasn't overly happy with that. And this will take Armstrong to within goal-kicking range. It'll get him inside 50. Been in terrific form, Armstrong. So we welcome Connor Ipson to the commentary box. Welcome, Connor.
Hey, how are we?
So, mate, how are you seeing the Imperials this year as Armstrong has a shot on goal, goes wide through for a minor score?
Yeah, it started off all right, and as happens in footy, we've had quite a few injuries through the middle part of the season, but starting to get blokes back on the track now. So hopefully the back half of the season start to see us playing a better footy, hopefully heading into finals.
Thexton wins the ball down looking for Gill, gets his player out of the way, and Johnson has plenty of space now. Gill drives the ball long to Omade and finds him. Omade has a player running through the middle of the ground in Stackpole, carries over his head, got Gizzarelli for company. What's he doing down there? Normally plays in the forward 50, in the back 50. Stackpole shoots on goal. minor score. So what's your role at the club this year, Connor?
A couple of roles this year at the club. Not playing this year due to an injury, but taken on the Colts coaching this year, which has been good, and vice president under Wayne Barndon, who's our president this year.
Well, I don't think you can learn much more than learning like from Wayne Barndon. I mean, he's been around a long time, and especially at a higher level. So, how are you finding that role, being on the committee, and especially being in that role, because it's a pretty important role in the footy club? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's my second year in the role. I was under Sesha last year, which was an awesome experience as well. And but yeah, Wayne's awesome to be under, and gone with a joint role this year. So it's myself and Christy Ward.
Yep.
Just sharing the load a bit. As Wayne's coaching the league side as well, so take a bit more pressure off him.
So Gizzarelli's taking the mark, centre wing, pushing up the ground. 6 points to margin, drives the ball inside 50, looking there for Franklin, carries over his head, has his speed, gets onto his left boot, snap on goal, misses his target, through for a minor, through out of bounds to be thrown in 10 metres out from Imperials goal. I think you get to appreciate a footy club when you sit on the committee, especially in those, any committee job is important, but when you go up and you're sitting one out, one back from the president, you really appreciate how it all functions. Tap down to Franklin, has a snap on goal, pushes, he kicks, in comes McRae, Constable's there, umpire's seen a free kick. It'll go the way of Southerners, deep in defence, and it'll go to Barnsby. So are you doing the Colts coaching by yourself, Connor?
Yeah, this year I am. I've got Corey Johnson, who's my runner week to week, who's playing sort of an assistant coach role, helping me along the way, nothing formal, but yeah. No, mainly taken on by myself this year, which I'm really enjoying. It's a good opportunity and a different perspective to footy as well. Not being able to play this year, like I said, but still being involved and around the club, which is good.
Do you see yourself, coaching the Colts? Is it ambition to go a bit higher through the ranks as you go and your footy career finishes, or as a player coach, either?
Not too sure yet. Sort of focusing on this year at the moment, and then hopefully coming back and playing next year, and just sort of focus on playing footy for the next few years. But for sure, it's probably something I'll think about with a good thought going down the track, because like I said, I've enjoyed it. So yeah.
Ball comes back out to Armstrong, getting himself involved. Short kick finds Johnson right on 50. So no goals kicked in the last couple of minutes. As we said, we've got Connor Ipson here, the Colts coach and vice president of the Imperials Footy Club. I've watched a fair bit of Colts this year, Connor. I reckon when every team's got their full team in, the Colts comp is really, really even.
Yeah, it is this year. Obviously, Pemby and D Mill are looking rather strong up the top this year, but like you said, when you got players doubling up in that, but when each team's got their full strength side in, it's as competitive a season as I've seen for a while down here, I think, which is awesome for local footy and for the competition going forward.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just reckon, though, especially the top four teams, like, yes, Pemby are strong, and to a lesser extent D Mill, but I think on any given day, there's no more than 2 or 3 goals between, especially those top 4 teams.
Yeah, for sure. It is exciting, especially when finals are almost set. The sides in it. There's a couple of changes that could happen, but it's a very exciting few weeks leading into finals. To sides starting to work each other out, and it should be a very exciting final series.
So, what do you like as a watcher of footy, Connor? I found it hard when I wasn't playing towards the back end of my career. It was a bit tough, but you get used to it. How are you going, mate?
Yeah, very much the same. This year I'm not playing at all, but I think it's helped having the roles on game day, taking your mind off, not just sitting there and watching it, because you do get quite eager and find it pretty hard to sit there and watch.
So here comes McRae, crosses 50, Dale McRae, it'll get to the top of the square, hook that all the way left. Back to 1 goal margin, 1 goal for, 2 goals for, as we close in on quarter time. I think it changes a little bit. I'm only saying this because my career finished a long time ago, but when you know you can't come back, there's a couple of little different scenarios in there. When you know you can come back because you're on an injury, but you think you can still play, it's tough when you're watching the game. But when you know you're not coming back, that's even tougher because there's no light to keep playing.
Yeah.
But that was my own experience. It's just yeah, it's just hard to be a watcher of footy when you love the game so much.
Yeah, I found the first half of the season, found it quite hard, and even put the boots on at training for a couple of times and realised pretty quick that my knee wasn't going to hold up. So thought, smart decision, rest of the year out, which has helped, knowing that I've sort of given it a crack and knowing that I can't actually do it. So it's helped it a bit, but it's still very hard to rock up each week and watch and not be able to get out there and do anything to help.
Fair enough. We all go through that. So just before we finish, mate, how are you seeing Imperials? I mean, they look like they're going to have 3 grades in the finals. Like, the club would be pretty happy with that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially coming off last year, we had a bit of a lull season, especially in the league and the Colts. And we spoke about pre-season, just building up from last year. We've still got the majority of the same side, just another year of experience and confidence, and just building off that. We had a good pre-season through Barndo coaching us, and just built. And I think we're in a very strong position in all 3 grades at the moment. So very happy as a club.
So we spoke about this just in commentary with another game we did with the Imperials, that, you know, they've done super well, especially in the ones when, you know, Wayne Barnum wasn't appointed till pretty much as pre-season started for most clubs, but you couldn't get a better person in that job just to take it up from there. So, you know, you'd be pretty chuffed with how the league going. They're playing a brilliant brand of footy. Yeah,
for sure. So hats off to Barndo, and like you said, there's probably not too many better locals that you can get in, especially to come in that position. Like you said, formally got announced on the first night of pre-season. So, the way he's built the side and the confidence that they've got and the belief in each other is hats off to him. And it's hopefully it starts to show even more coming into the second half of the season.
Right, we'll wrap it up now, mate. Like, all the best with the Colts into your foray in coaching. It's a terrific effort. I coached Colts myself as a player a long time ago. It's a big effort to do that, but it's very enjoyable just seeing that development. And yeah, hopefully you go well in the finals, and all the best to the footy club and in your position as vice president as the finals come on. And yeah, I think you're doing a terrific job, and it's good to see young people come through and be part of a club, not just on the field but off the field, because it's hugely important.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm enjoying all roles I'm playing this year. All roles I'm doing this year, and it's exciting to see the other side of footy, as you mentioned earlier, not just rocking up at training and game days, but the ins and outs, the organisation that goes into it, and all the volunteers. You see the actual work that they all put in, so it's really good.
No, well done, mate. All the best.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Connor. Cheers, mate. So a bit of a stalemate here. It's Connor Ipsum from the Imperials Footy Club, the Colts coach for 2026, and also the vice president in his second year as vice president. 8 points the margin. I think it might be 7. An extra point there to the Southerners. Ball on the far side of the ground. Goes to Stackpole. Misses the mark he should have taken. Managed to get on the left foot and finds youngster Riley Gilt. A couple of options inside. One of them is Omaday, in the middle of the ground. Will Omaday takes a mark, looks down for Thompson. That's 2 or 3 metres on his opponent in Toigo. Seaton Thompson handballs back to Omaday. Shot on goal. It's going to get to the top of the square. Morgan in best position for Imperials. Takes a mark. And there's a quarter time siren. 1 goal 3 to 2 goals 5. So 8 points the margin at quarter time. Opening 2 goals come the way of Imperials through Wademan and Jordan Johnson. And Omaday got one from the top of the goal square. Unselfish pass by Riley Gill. Got them on the board. So we go into quarter time. Thank Connor Ipsum for his time. Spoke really well. Good young fella. Terrific footballer. He'll be back. Rangy left footer. Might have played an Imperials premiership down here in 2018 as a real youngster. So all the best to him. It's good to see these youngsters come through, especially in the executive side of the committee side of footy clubs, because that's what footy clubs need, some youngsters coming through, and it gives you a real appreciation of how a club functions. So we'll be back shortly with the second quarter. We're going to quarter time break. The Imperials holding an 8-point lead.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix, macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. Up until your personal victory. Until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.
Well, welcome back to Pemberton Sports Oval. Interesting clash between Southerners and Imperials. Southerners 8 points down at the first break. Had plenty of the ball, especially from the back line. It's just that last kick into the forward line's really letting them down. Or if they do get a clean possession, it seems to be just outside that range for their forwards to put it through for a major score. Imperials got the first 2 goals of the game through Waderman and Jordan Johnson. Omade struck back halfway through that quarter, and then for the last 10 minutes of that opening quarter, no goals scored by either team. Before we get into this second quarter, I'd like to thank Premium Grains, our sponsors. Premium Grains, any grain needs that you want, see Premium Grains. Great Southern Fuels, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation, they sponsor the goal of the year, and Agfree, the mark of the day. And players just about to get back into position here. And we'd also like to thank and welcome our cameraman, Johnny Douglas. Classic clashes, filming footy. Ball in the middle. It'd be Collins. He'll ruck most of the day today. Collins for Southerners. Brisbane, well, he got a chop out from young Constable, who looked quite tidy in the ruck. Umpire holds the ball aloft. Second quarter underway. Ruckman go up at it. This time Collins wins it down. Sockers it off the ground, not in danger, comes to Johnson, handball back out to the skipper in Armstrong for Imperials. Good looking kick, finds Myers in the centre square. Gizzarelli running past, could have went the short option, goes longer. Good kick too, finds Melenis. It takes the mark in front of Barnsby, right on the 50, Kane Melenis. As we've spoken about, usually plays fullback. He'll be enjoying this. Kane Melenis might be just outside his range. He's going to have a shot. He'll put it to the teeth of the goal square. Runs around the man on the mark. Gets a purchase on it. Stays wide. It'll stay in play. Goes over the back there of Wademan and out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 10 metres out from Imperials' goal. The first centre clearance to them. Armstrong's been instrumental. Ball's thrown in. Collins gets front position. Comes towards Franklin. Dodges around a couple. Snaps onto his left boot. Goes to the top of the square. It'll favour Barnsby. Can't get a handle on it. Has Gazzarelli there for company. Drags the ball in. How will the umpire see this one? We thought so. Deliberate. Free kick will go the way of Wademan. Just about to play on. Umpire blows the whistle. Brings him back. Tight angle. Looks inboard. Good looking kick too. Lazy defence by this home team. Finds the chest of East, Max East, and he'll kick from 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. Right behind this one, Max East for the opening goal, the second quarter. Unselfishly, Wademan put it to a better spot. In comes East, deliberate shot on goal, holds its line, hugs a goal post, but he's made no mistake. Opening major of the second quarter goes the way of the visitors, courtesy of Max East. They move to a 14-point margin. So under pressure was Barnsby. Looked at the boundary line, hoping that maybe Wademan might have a shot from there so they can reset. But unselfishly brought it into East. Found himself in plenty of space, and he made no mistake from 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Gets his name on the board. 3 goals, 5, 1-3, favour Imperials. 1 down by Brisbane, straight to Danks, wrapped up by McRae, Dale McRae, who's moved into the middle of the ground. Umpire to do it all over again. No, Ruckman wins it down, comes to McRae, taps it straight back to Armstrong, wheels around onto his left boot, looks wide out there for Hall. Terrific young player, works himself inboard, breaks a tackle, gets onto his left boot, not his best kick, trying to find Myers, couldn't get it on the second grab. Short handball to McRae, that's Dale, looks wide for Hughes. Hughes has found a little bit of space, far side of the ground, Lachlan Hughes, the up-and-coming star, and that's a good kick. And Gill on the second and third grab takes the mark. Still 2 kicks out from goal. Riley Gill goes back inboard to Omadei. So lost a little bit of ground, maintained possession of the footy. Omadei has a player short, goes that way, and that's Jasper. Pretty much where Riley Gill took the other mark. Now he goes inboard looking for Gill. And Gill once again, second grab, takes the mark in front of Johnson. So they're maintaining possession, but getting no closer to goal. This time, long and strong, looking for Fox. He'll come from 1 deep. Brings the ball down towards Kabassi. Comes to Collins, wrapped up in a big tackle. Gets a little bit extra as well from Wilson. So rubs him into the ground. Wilson then picks him up and said, "You're okay." Now Collins has to do the ruck work. Wins it out towards Fox. Spills out towards Brisbane. Ball's still in dispute. Now it's socket off the ground. In they come. Thexton gets a handball over, but it went straight to Wilson. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Thexton. So Johnson let the tackle linger. That was Jordan Johnson. And Thexton will receive the free kick. And this to get the responding goal. Anthony Thexton will kick from 30 metres out. Slight angle. This to get 1 back for the home team. Thexton. In he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. Makes no mistake, this Thexton. So 1 back for the home side. They move to 2 goals, 3, 15, 3-5, 23. Margin back to 8 points. You just don't want to give away silly free kicks, especially inside 50. But that's what happened there. And Thexton, he received the free kick and made no mistake from 30 metres out. Terrific young player, Thexton. They just maintained possession. Eventually they had to go long, got it inside 50 and just put the pressure on the defence of Imperials. Free kick given. Thexton gets a goal. Ball back in the middle. Brisbane goes up uncontested. Collins done it well. Just stayed down, but all he's done is kicked it straight to Morgan. Right on defensive 50. Bo Morgan goes wide. Looks there for Danks. Bounces in front of him. Will it sit up for him? Has Dale McRae for company. Good tackle by McRae. Gets the handball over to Armstrong, being terrific so far. Carries over the top of Brisbane, but spills out the back towards Hall. Player running past is Johnson. Receives the handball, goes inside 50. Melenis, one grab, two. And on the third, takes the mark. And this time he's in range. He'll kick from 45 metres out, directly in front. Good work from Armstrong. Hall read it well. Ball carried Brisbane in the middle of the ground. Handball over to Johnson. Finds Melenis. So goal for goal. Melenis looking for his first. Left footer. In he comes now. Hooks the kick. And through for a minor score. So a lead off there for Southerners. 3 goals, 6. 9 points the margin. 2 goals, 3, 15. Ball to be brought back into play. Players short. Has another one longer. That was Smith. The kick's not going to make it to him. Myers, he was sport by his own man. And Dank spills out to Thexton. High up and under. Morgan in best position takes the mark in front of the skipper, Thompson. Goes down the middle of the ground looking for Gizzarelli. Misses his target. Comes to Danks. Gets the handball over to Gizzarelli. Then to Barnsby. Goes wide and finds Gill. Looked like he nearly played on there, Gill, but he stopped just in time in front of Beebe. Has Thompson short. The skipper goes that way. Centre wing takes a mark in front of Morgan. Thompson goes to Fox. So once again, just maintaining possession. Trent Fox. Good to see him back playing. Goes long, hugs the boundary, looking for Hughes. In front of him, terrific marks taken by Corey Johnson. Right on defensive 50. Corey Johnson brings the ball into the middle of the ground. Dangerous kick. Omade, front position. Over the top comes Danks. Provides a contest. Wins that contest. Gets it out to Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli thought about a bounce. Goes a handball there to Melenis. Melenis will look for Franklin. Franklin pushes off the back of the pack. Ball doesn't sit for him. Rushes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 15 metres out from Imperials' goal. Probably caught in 2 minds there, Melenis. Could have ran a little bit further and had a shot on goal. Franklin did the right thing and pushed out the back. Ball didn't sit. Ball to be thrown in. Barnsby does the ruck work. Umpire will have to reload, do it all over again. So Barnsby do the ruck work up against Danks. Throw it in. Favours Barnsby. Just punches it straight out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Gained about 10 metres, but still in a really dangerous spot. Thrown in 35 metres out from Imperials' goal. Barnsby up against Danks. Danks reaches around. It's over towards Waderman. Ball still in dispute. Comes back to Danks. Tries to bullock his way through. Does so, but it's kicked out there towards Gill. Beebe picks it up. He'll have a shot on goal. Puts it to the top of the goal square. Barnsby spoilt by his own man, McRae. And once again, ball to be thrown in right on the point post. 10 metres out from Imperials' goal. Just a little bit of lack of talking there. Danks does the ruck work up against Barnsby. Comes to Hall. Over to Melenis. Tries to snap on his left boot. Ball smothered. Still in dispute. Comes back to Hall. Puts it to the top of the square. Free kick's been paid. And it might go to Imperials. I think it does. It's a relay free kick. It'll go the way of Gizzarelli. Must have been late on the tackle. The non-controlling umpire called that one. So Gizzarelli will shoot 20 metres out directly in front. They've had all the play. This to finish it off with a major. Gizzarelli, deliberate shot on goal. Knows where the goals are. Makes no mistake. So Imperials get their second for the second quarter. Courtesy of a relay free kick to Scott Gizzarelli. And he made no mistake from 20 metres out. So unlucky there. It's not much you can do. Player was upended as he kicked it. It was part of the tackle. But the umpires are closer than us. Gizzarelli didn't complain. He thought, this will do me. 20 metres out. I like it from here. And he made no mistake. So 15 points the margin. Ball back in the middle. Collins wins it down. Goes towards Omade. Couldn't pick the ball up. Now it spills out to Hall. Has Armstrong running past. Misses the handball. Sockers it off the ground towards Smith. Will it sit up for Smith? Gets onto his left boot. He's done well there. He's kept it in play. Johnson could have been held. Then pushed in the back. All of the above. No play on advantage. Lucky there for Southerners. This Johnson, Corey Johnson, receives a free kick in front of Hughes. Not much Hughes could do there. Part of the contest. Johnson drives the ball long. East in front. Sport down by Smith. Tries to bullock his way through. Comes towards Hall. Got tackled as he tried to get rid of it. Comes to Sawyer. Sawyer handballs out, but it favours Wademan. Wademan drives the ball long towards Melenis. Melenis has Barnsby. Couple of metres on Barnsby. Barnsby comes in with a tackle. Gets a handball over to Myers. Then to Gizzarelli. Puts it to the middle of the ground. Thompson in best position. Couldn't take the mark as Morgan come over the top. High up and under. Middle of the ground. Kabassi's there. How will it bounce? Bounces towards Johnson. Kabassi could have given away the free kick. Umpire lets play go on. Now he comes in to throw the ball up. Right on forward 50. Imperials way, 15 points to margin. Up goes Collins, out muscled by Brisbane, comes to Armstrong, snap on goal. High and wide, out of bounds on the full. Relieving free kick will go the way of Barnsby for Southerners. Armstrong's involved in everything so far, had a terrific season, Brandy Armstrong. Barnsby brings it in short, and Omade takes the mark in front of Hall, still deep inside defensive 50. Omade goes even shorter. Asked a little bit there of Collins, but he took the mark, chest mark in front of Brisbane for Imperials. Collins now, he'll hug the boundary. It's going to land short. Lands in front with Myers. Dropped an uncontested mark in the end. Spilled to Seaton. Thompson for Southerners, wrapped up by Myers. Umpire to throw the ball up. Centre wing, right in front of the Imperials change box. 4 goals, 6, 2-3 in favour of the visitors. One down by Collins, goes to Danks. Danks tries to shovel the ball out. Now it spills to Thexton. Thexton goes over the back. Jasper in good position. In comes Wilson. Spills out towards Sawyer. Picks it up, one grab. Nice pick up by the youngster. Goes high up and under, looking there for Fox. Could have been interfered with. In come Johnson. Free kick's given away. It's going to go the way of Fox for Southerners. So Trent Fox, tight angle, 40 metres out. And this to get the margin back to 9 points. So a little bit clumsy there, Johnson. Unlucky. Done some good things. But the free kick will allow Fox to have a good look at goal. In he comes now. Trent Fox, deliberate shot. I think it's going to make the distance. It's going to land right at the top of the square. Across the front came Morgan. Socket off the ground by Omade. Spills out towards Kabassi. Bounces around him. In comes Beebe. He's done well there, Beebe. Wrapped up by Hughes. Umpire to throw the ball up. 35 metres out from Southerners' goal. This time Wilson does the ruck work. Beached Fox. Comes towards Jasper. Touched off the boot. Will it stay in play? Does so. Stackpole. Gets around Johnson. Goes one way, then the other. Comes inboard to Jasper. Has Sawyer there. Sawyer picks it up. Smothered. Comes back to Jasper. He goes back towards Stackpole. Comedy of errors on the far side of the ground. Now Thompson's there. Has time to assess. Looks for the big fella Fox. Johnson reaches around with a terrific spoil. It goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. 30 metres out from Southerners' goal. Couple of options in the middle. That was a terrific smother. Sawyer had a shot on goal. This time Fox gets front position, uses his height in front of Wilson, wins it down. Ball spills out to Hall on his right boot, high up and under. Brisbane's there. Opposed by Collins. In comes Seaton Thompson. Over to Tom Bendotti, then to Kabassi. Good looking kick, looking down there for Omade. Spills out to Hall, gets a handball to Beebe, back to Johnson. Johnson will come right in front of the commentary box. Couple of options, one of them is East, and he takes the easiest of chest marks. Has Armstrong running for him. Armstrong takes a mark, plays on straight away. The skipper goes inboard, looks for Melenis. Melenis goes into the corridor and finds Hall. Has a couple of metres. Nearly run down by Jasper. Looks for Franklin. Couple on his player. Couldn't take the mark on the second grab. Shot on goal by Jordan Johnson. Through for a minor score. So end-to-end stuff from Imperials. That margin, 16 points. I hope you're keeping an eye on this, John, for best on ground. I'm thinking Armstrong's put his name forward. He's been involved in everything. Omade for Southerners has been terrific, well, along with Thompson. There's a couple of inspirational leaders for both clubs out there. This is one of them. Armstrong takes a mark right on 50, goes inboard, finds Melenis. So Melenis, he'll kick from 50. This will test him. Looks a little bit uncomfortable from this range. Probably 5 metres too far out. So Kane Melenis, the spearhead. Left footer, in he comes now, gains a bit of ground, distance no problem. Narrow all the way, through for a minor score. Talking about inspirational leaders, Armstrong for Imperials and Seaton Thompson. They do everything for their respective clubs to will them home. 17 minutes gone in this second quarter. Ball's brought back into play by Barnsby. Looks there for Hughes. In front is Armstrong. Nearly takes the mark. Second effort. Knocks it out towards Hall. Hall has Raymond Myers for company. Comes back to Hall. Gets it to Morgan. Umpire said, you've run out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in right on forward 50 for Imperials.
Has Armstrong always been like that, Weaver? He'd be 100% by hand and foot today.
Oh, he's been absolutely fantastic, Brandy Armstrong. Comes to Hall, manages to get the ball on the boot, spills out to Melenis. This will favour him. Will it come back? Melenis on his right side.
Oh.
Missed.
Gee, they're
Look close.
Peppering away.
Comes from good stocks, Brandy Armstrong. Dad Mark, was a terrific player. Spent a bit of time in the southwest and over east as well. But Brandy Armstrong, every game I've seen, he's been absolutely fantastic. And so is this guy, the opposing skipper in Thompson. Receives a short kick out of fullback. Won a premiership with Boyup Brook a few years ago. Goes inboard, finds Jasper. He'll switch play here. Goes wide, back to Barnsby. Now the ground opens up. Looks there for McRae if he can get it on quick. Stackpole's ran out on the far wing and found some space. Goes that way and finds Stackpole. He'll come inboard. Dangerous kick. Waterman gets his mid out, cuts the ball off as Omade was about to mark it. Spills over to Johnson, back to Toigo, puts him under pressure. In comes Ridley, tackled as he kicked it. Going to ask a fair bit of Fox. In he comes now, Fox. Knocks it back out to Ridley. He'll put it into open space. Morgan's there. Morgan has 5 metres on his opponent in Gill. Not the best handball. Now he's put Myers under pressure. Morgan mops up, gets the ball back. Goes short, looking for Johnson. In comes a big bull in Collins. I'm sure Johnson's seen him. Comes back out towards Constable. Morgan comes back in, second effort. Over to Johnson. In comes Hughes. Upends Johnson. Managed to soccer off the ground. Not 15. Armstrong taken high. Right in front of the commentary box. Receives a free kick. Brandy Armstrong. Good looking kick. Finds Gizzarelli. Takes the mark in front of McRae. Centre wing, Gizzarelli. Good looking kick, goes in the middle of the corridor and finds Hancock. Still too far out to score. Armstrong runs on. Now he's been called to play on. Long and strong, goes down looking for Franklin, gets his player under the ball. Beats everyone, goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 15 metres out from Imperials' goal. 18 points the margin. 20 minutes gone in the second quarter. 4 goals 6, 2 goals 3. Ball's thrown in. Danks does the ruck work. Goes over the top of Barnsby. Comes out to Smith. Just puts it onto his boot. Bounces inside the boundary line. Umpire to throw it in. They gain a little bit of meterage there. Ball to be thrown in 35 metres out from Imperials' goal. Danks does the ruck work, wrestles, comes over to Jasper, chucks it onto his boot. Toy goes there, goes over the top of him, lands in the arms of Omade, gets the handball to Thexton, to McRae. McRae tackled, spun around a couple of times. In comes Wilson, met there by Hughes. In comes McRae.
Great tackling.
Great tackle by McRae. Second effort, Dale McRae. Ball goes inboard, comes to Omade, gets the handball over to Dale McRae. Waited, tackled by Melenis, play on advantage. Hall makes no mistakes, looks down for Waderman, puts one hand out, couldn't take the mark, spills to Wilson, handball to Gizzarelli, runs into an open goal and missed. Should have done better there, Gizzarelli. It's his bread and butter. A terrific tackling in the middle of the ground by both sides. And it opened up for Imperials. They couldn't make the most of it. Gizzarelli missed from 20 metres out. Barnsbury brings the ball back in the play, looking there for Omade. Sits up nicely for him. Runs around, drives it forward. Myers in best position, spills over the back. Stackpole's there, comes back out to Stackpole. Uses his leg speed. Good looking kick, looking there for Gilt. He's got Raymond Myers, tries to do the don't argue. Myers does well, comes back. He's got some support now by Johnson. Nearly run down by Fox, high up and under. And Bendotti takes the mark right at half forward. Bendotti, player wide. It's Thompson, the skipper, goes inboard. Good kick, finds a youngster in Sawyer. So Sawyer, Jaden Sawyer, second game of league footy, takes the mark in front of Morgan. It's no mean feat either. So Jaden Sawyer, kick from 45 metres out. Nearly directly in front. Just to get that margin back to single figures. Kicks on its way. It's wide all the way. It's real wide. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by Hancock for Imperials. Well, unlucky there, Sawyer. Got a big career in front of him. He knows where the goals are. Probably not his best kick. It was a good lead and it was honoured. Hancock brings the ball in. It's a good kick, well outside 50. Wilson drops a mark he should have taken. Has Hughes for company. Draws a crowd. There's Keenan Wilson. One of them is Hughes. Dragged the ball in, the umpire said. And the free kick will go the way the home side. It was 2-1. And that one is a skipper in Thompson. Player wide. Hughes takes the mark. Still 2 kicks from home. Leads come. He's going to have to drive the ball long now. Does so. Hugs the pocket. Looking there for the big frame of Fox. Gets his hand on the ball. Thexton's there. Spills over to Bendotti. Comes back towards Jasper. Jasper has a shot on goal.
Great goal.
He's done well there, Jasper. Under pressure. 30 metres out. Tight angle. So out of nowhere, they get one back. The margin now is under double figures, so 2 goals apiece. 3 goals, 21. 4 goals, 10. 34. So 13 points the margin. So my mistake.
13 points of difference at the 24.5-minute mark, but they've kicked 10 points. They probably should be 2 or 3 goals more in front, shouldn't they? They haven't been hard goals.
They've kept Southerners in the game by inaccurate kicking. That's a terrific goal by Jasper. He's also played a game of reserves as well. Ball back in the middle. Up they go. Constable wins it down, but Thexton's there. Could have been tackled without it. Play on, says the umpire. Comes to Danks, gets it out to Johnson. High up and under. Front position was Waderman. Does well. Spills back out towards Myers. Has time to get his handball away towards Gizzarelli. Over to Waderman. Waderman goes wide to Johnson, puts him under pressure, tries to come back inboard towards Myers, spills out to Danks, and there's a siren for half-time. So 13 points the margin, 14 scoring shots to 6, 3 goals, 21, the 4-10-34. A goal just before half-time to Cody Jasper brought that margin back to 13 points, so they're still in it here, Southerners. Got to make the most of their opportunities. Had a couple of shots, Trent Fox and Jaden Sawyer, but Imperials have had a hell of a lot more. Well, they kicked 2 goals, 5 again in that second quarter. and most of those were kick points, not rush behinds. So they'll be disappointed with that. Plenty of the footy, but they hold a 13-point margin, and we'll be back with the second half shortly at Pemberton Sports Complex.
The relationship with Great Southern Fuels started with my father 50 years ago, delivering fuel in drums back in the day, which has progressed into large tanks now. They've been very reliable and efficient on time with service.
We run a mixed farming operation here on Chapman Valley, just north of Geraldton, managing about 5,500 hectares. We've been with what is now Great Southern Fuels for in excess of 20 years. There's always challenges and situations that catch you out, and they've been really, really good at accommodating that for us.
We've been with Great Southern for 28 years now. Look, they've given us exceptional service and they're price competitive. So it's wonderful.
They're a great company to work for. They're a family-owned business. They will support you and whatever is required.
I've got Alan's phone number, I've got Steve's phone number, and I know if I ring it I'll get an answer, which is really cool.
The relationship's great and the service is second to none. So I ring up and it doesn't matter if it's Saturday, Sunday or whenever I ring up, I'll have fuel. So we've never been held up or had a problem with them. So my theory is that's what I'm about. It's about service and the relationship, and it's been fantastic.
It's very important to maintain long-term customers' loyalty and give back what you can when you can.
Great Southern Fuels is one of the few companies that I've been involved with that gives so much back to the local community. We support so many different organisations and country, sporting clubs, field days, farming organisations.
We endeavour to give back. The community looked after us by dealing with us, and we just gave it back in what we could do. Footy club needs a hand, well, it's because they need a hand that you give it to, not the other way around.
When you look at how they conduct themselves in the community, they've been a great supporter of the Livestock Transporters Association. Just incredible what they do.
I do a lot for the community, which is good. And not only Lake Race either, it's right through where all these outlets are all over the state. He's been excellent with that.
We tend to sponsor major events, the Great Southern Football Carnival, Colts Carnival.
Across the board, I think sponsorships are a very important part of any community. I grew up in Lake Grace and footy was my life down there for a long time. Great Southern sponsored Lake Grace back then, and along with many other footy clubs and hockey clubs and tennis clubs, and we might not always be making a big deal out of it, but the people that get sponsored, they understand and they relate to it.
They do a lot for the town, so I can't fault them. They've been brilliant.
Great Southern Fuels have got strong values, and that shows in what they do. They walk the talk and they do what they do.
You deal with people that are there and care about your business, and these people have been absolutely wonderful.
I'm very proud of what Mum and Dad have achieved in their life and how they've structured the business, and it's all structured around our customers and looking after people and being in the right areas where we need to sell the fuel and have the support there and sponsorship. Being part of the community, even though we're not in that community, but our workers are there and that's part of us.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. Up until your personal victory, until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.
So players just making their way back into position. Half time here, Pemberton Sporting Complex. 4 goals 10 to 3 goals 3. So a lot of wasted opportunities for the visitors. 2 goals 5 in each half, in each quarter. We'll just run through the sponsors that make Filming Footing Classic clashes happen. Great Southern Fuels, Agfree, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Up, Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel. Away we go, second half. Danks now in the ruck, up against Collins, wins it down towards Myers, who's now in the middle of the ground. Comes out to Armstrong, terrific first half, gets tackled, spills over to Hughes. Handball to Omade, over to Tayton Smith, tries to handball there to his skipper in Thompson, but Johnson cuts it off. Thompson butters up, second effort. Ball, umpire lets the play go on. Spills back out towards Smith, handball back to Hughes, mucking around with it at half forward. In comes the Bull, Danks. Kick onto his boot, is it 15? Knocked away by Myers, spills to Collins, sockers it off the ground, straight to Hall, gets onto his left boot, inside 50, first for the third quarter, goes the way of Hall, well gathered by Sam McRae. High up and under, Collins in best position, takes a chest mark uncontested. Player running for him in Gill, takes the mark in front of his eyes, looks down there for Thexton. Terrific spoil by Johnson. Thexton tried to take the chest mark, probably should have held his hands out in front of him. This allowed Johnson to reach around and makes the spoil. Ball to be thrown in. Danks does the ruck work, wins it straight towards Hughes. Hughes handballs to Gill, gets onto his left boot. It's going to favour Morgan for Imperials. And once again, he takes an uncontested mark right on defensive 50. Goes in the middle of the ground, looks there for Myers. That's a terrific kick by Morgan and finds Myers, who takes the mark in front of Smith. Goes wide, finds East. Plenty of room there for East. Weighs up all his options. Looks down for Franklin, but cutting across in front is Barnsby for Southerners, and he takes a chest mark. Just as Franklin was about to take the mark, goes short, finds Jasper. He'll go back on the far side of the ground. Interesting looking kick. Spills through Armstrong's hands. Comes to Omade. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Southerners. It might go the way of Fox. Held without the ball on the ground. So Trent Fox, tall youngster, goes wide. Looks there for Thompson. Works his player under the ball, picks the ball up, goes inside 50, not his best kick, and finds the chest of Danks for Imperials. He switches play, finds Raymond Myers. Myers has his brother Tim running for him. Kick sits up in the air. Tim Myers misses the mark. Spoilt there by Ben Dotty. Gets the handball back to Raymond Myers. Bounces in front of Wademan. Wademan concedes ground, goes backwards, finds Morgan as Ben Dotty stands the mark just outside defensive 50. Bo Morgan pushed into a corner but has time to settle and finds Wademan right in front of the Imperials interchange box, and Wademan's pass is cut off by Jasper. Jasper has Thexton, middle of the ground. Gizzarelli stands the mark. Thexton goes backwards, finds Thompson. Thompson has Ridley if he wants him, goes wider, finds Hughes, centre wing. It's all about possession at the moment. Now they find Ridley, middle of the ground. Jay Ridley needs to get himself involved in the game. Looks there for Thexton, lands into a nest of Imperials players. Mark taken by Brajovic. Goes wide, looks for Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli has time. He finds Ray Myers, centre wing. So back to where it started. Ray Myers, interesting looking kick. Finds his target in Wademan. Wademan handballs to Hall. Puts the skates on. Cute little kick. Finds Chris Franklin. 48 metres out. Goal square's open. Now they push back. Chris Franklin, first deliberate shot on goal. Hasn't hit the scoreboard yet. Crosses 50. Kicks on its way. It's right all the way. It's going to land still in the field of play. Reaching around. Johnson tries to take the mark. In comes Thompson, wrapped up by the opposing skipper. And Armstrong and the non-officiating umpire is called a sling. Free kick goes away. Thompson gets it to Gill. Gill goes through the corridor, finds Tate and Smith. Hunts himself into a bit of trouble, gets onto his left boot. Good looking kick for Jasper, misses the mark. Now he puts himself under pressure. Danks is there, wins the ball out, breaks one tackle. Goes around 2 or 3 times. Lucky to get away with it. Spills out towards Armstrong. Tries to get the handball over to Danks. Carries him over to Beebe. Goes wide. Looking for Johnson. Will the ball sit in play? Out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Good tackle there by Hughes. Lucky. Far side of the ground. No score as yet. Early stages, third quarter. Margin still 13 points. Carries both ruckman. Comes back towards Danks. Starting to impact on this game now. Handball over to Tim Myers. He gets it back to Zach Hall. Hall gets onto his left boot. Looks there for Melenis. Couldn't take the mark. Gets it over to Ray Myers. How will it bounce? Bounces onto the chest of Gizzarelli. Carey McRae spins around now. Gets onto his left boot. And Gizzarelli gets the opening score of the third quarter. He's got 2. Just peppered away with Danks making a real impact in the middle of the ground. And Hall getting himself involved. Gizzarelli made no mistake from 10 metres out. So opening major, 5 goals 10 now to 3 goals 3. This margin, they just can't peg it back. They need to hold it to around that sort of 15 to 20 point mark to give themselves a chance in the last quarter. Ball back in the middle. Danks does the ruck work, wins it down to Tim Myers, breaks through the middle of the ground, high up and under, inside 50 once again. Barnsby takes the chest mark, goes wide. Smith, inside defensive 50. Good looking kick too from Smith. That's a good lead from Gill as well. And he takes the mark, centre wing. Smith needs to get himself involved. Gill goes short, finds Ben Dotty. Tom Ben Dotty has Omade in the middle, goes that way, finds him. So now they're in the corridor. They switch play. Thompson's led wide. Melenis couldn't run it down. In come the leads now. One of them is McRae. Carries McRae. Good mark taken by Sawyer. 2 kicks from home. Jaden Sawyer puts it down towards Fox. Works his player under the ball. Takes a terrific mark. There's Trent Fox in front of Hancock. Used all of his height there. Trent Fox, he'll kick from 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. And this to get the response for the home side and bring that margin back to what it was at half time. So in comes Fox, we're right behind this one. Deliberate shot on goal. It's trying to come back, holds its line. He's done enough there, Fox. Umpire signal's good enough for me. So Southerners get the response through Trent Fox. Terrific kick, right on his range, the big fella. So 1 goal apiece. Early stages of this third quarter. And that margin back to 13 points.
Nigel, how old would Fox be? He looks a likely target up there. And I thought he's used his body quite well today.
Trent Fox would be around the 30 years of age, 31 maybe. Had a lot of hip injuries, John. Spent a lot of time out of the game, but terrific player. Played in a lot of premierships here. So the ball back in the middle. Armstrong could have been taken without it. Umpire says correct. Danks runs down Collins well after the whistle. And Brandy Armstrong, the skipper for Imperials, wins the free kick. Has Morgan running wide for him. Uses him. Morgan can take it and go. Does so. Sawyer closes the gap. Doesn't put him off his kick, and he's found Johnson, Corey Johnson, just outside 50. Goes inboard looking for Melenis. Melenis misses the chest mark. Spills back to Johnson. How will this bounce? Ben Dotty in best position. Bounces through his hands and Gizzarelli's hands for Imperials and through for a minor score. Fox, outstanding. Played mainly as a ruck, as you can tell. He's a tall man. But yeah, a lot of injuries, John, but he's a terrific player. Terrific young man as well. So It's good to see him back playing footy. Ball's brought back into play, finds McRae, right on defensive 50. That's Sam McRae, high up and under, looks for that man Fox, gets front position and uses that reach and takes a terrific mark. Dexton Short being called to play on now. Has to kick high and long, looks for Hughes.
Well, that's impressive from a big man. He led about 4 times. He's hit the target and gone again here. Unbelievable.
So Fox starting to turn it on. He's inspired by that goal. He's still too far out to score. He'll put it to the top of the square. Looks for Dale McRae. Tries to nudge his player under the ball. Spills out to Morgan. Gets onto his left boot. Under pressure. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go the way of the home side to Gill. He'll kick from right on 50. Smart move for Fox is down there. Goes inboard. Mark taken by Smith. Looked like it might have hit the ground. The umpire's paid the mark.
Yep.
Tate Smith had a good start to this third quarter as well.
I think he may have turfed it, but both umpires weren't in the right position, were they? They just didn't see it, so they couldn't call it.
And Smith has done well there. He didn't look like he dropped the ball. He just claimed the mark. Umpire agreed with him. Smith will have a shot on goal, 45 metres out, tight angle. Had a really good start to this third quarter. In he comes now. Tate Smith, not his best kick. Won't stay in the field of play. Goes out of bounds in the full, relieving free kick to be taken by Morgan. Goes wide. Looks there for Johnson. Corey Johnson takes the mark. His brother running for him. Jordan Johnson goes that way. The play's on straight away. Looks up for Hall. Thompson will come from the back. That's Seaton Thompson. Skipper takes the mark over the top of Hall. Goes short. So just maintaining possession. This kick here carries over the top of East. Comes to Smith. Gets a handball over to Hughes. Crosses 50. Lachlan Hughes. Shot on goal. Morgan sees it over the boundary line with Sawyer. Ball to be thrown in 15 metres out from Southerners' goal. They're pressing. See if they can get a goal here. Reduce that margin even more. Fox gets in front. Wins the ball out. Comes towards Raymond Myers. Lays a big tackle on Hughes. Does Raymond Myers. Umpire will come in. Throw the ball up once again. 30 metres out. This time Tim Myers does the ruck work. Up against Fox. Ball in dispute. Still on the ground. Solid tackles by both teams. Jasper hands the ball back to the umpire. Waste no time. Fox wins it down towards Hughes. Lachlan Hughes comes back to Jasper. Sneaky little kick. Spills around to Sawyer. He snaps on goal. Goes across the face. Through for a minor score. So they're having opportunities. 1 goal apiece in this third quarter. 4 goals 3 to 5 goals 12. So 13 points the margin. Ball's brought back into play by Morgan. Finds East right at defensive 50. Puts himself under pressure. McRae closes, but East manages to get the kick away. Finds Corey Johnson far side of the ground. Player runs for him in Melenis. Smith comes across in front, makes a spoil on the second grab, spills back towards Melenis. Does well, cuts inside, gets onto his left boot. It'll go inside 50, looking there for Myers. Omade comes over the top with the spoil, comes to Dale McRae. Handballs over to Ben Dotty. Ben Dotty handballs it straight to Danks. Barnsby in front, takes the mark. Handballs straight away to Thompson. Goes wide looking for Gill. Gill takes a terrific mark overhead in front of Johnson. Short finds Smith. Been good in this third quarter. Smith goes down, finds Jasper. This is the kick that's letting him down. It didn't get there. Spoiled off the mark. Spills towards Wilson. He handballs to Armstrong. Armstrong's to Myers. Tries to tap it out to Beebe. Then Kabassi's there. Sockers it off the ground. Lands in front of Johnson. He gets a kick out and finds East once again. Far side of the ground. Comes inboard to Gizzarelli. He's found some space. Gets onto his left boot. Not his best kick. Looking there for Wademan. Wademan has a couple to beat. One of them is Thompson. Could have been taken without it. Umpire lets the play go on. Thompson gets a handball over to Ben Dotty. Ben Dotty gets it to Kabassi. Puts him under pressure. Ben Dotty pushed off his kick but taken high by Gizzarelli. And now that's 50 metres. Can't put the ball on the ground. Doesn't matter how old you are when the free kick's been paid. And Tom Bendotti, this kick will take him to the top of the square. It's a generous 50, about 35, I reckon. Bendotti goes short, looks for the big man Fox, pushed under the ball. Chest mark taken by Hancock. He'll switch play, goes to Keenan Wilson, takes the grab. The mark on the second grab, goes wider with Morgan, who's run out of fullback. Finds himself at defensive 50, being called to play on. Gets around the man on the mark with ease in Sawyer, goes wide, and Hall takes a mark. Under pressure from Gill. Comes in board, looks for the skipper in Armstrong. Plays on straight away in front of Jasper. Looking up for Johnson. Across in front of him comes Barnsby. Spills out the back towards Franklin. Then back to Johnson. High up and under. It'll favour Tim Myers. Takes an uncontested chest mark. He'll go back from 40 metres out. Tight angle. This to get one back for the visitors.
The other player that's been very impressive is Morgan out of full back, Nigel. Nothing really gets past him when he uses the ball coming out of defence, doesn't he?
He's got good breeding stocks as well. I'm sure his dad was David Morgan, played for East Perth back in the 80s. In comes Myers, deliberate shot on goal, couple of steps. That's a sensational kick from Myers.
Great goal.
Knew it straight off the boot. So Tim Myers extends that margin once again. Didn't waste any time or energy kicking that. 2-1 in favour of the visitors. Getting back to Morgan, I did do in a Margaret River game a couple of weeks ago, John. I'm sure he played in the premiership there a few years ago. So he's played in a premiership at South West level. He's a big unit and he's just controlled centre-half back today and offered him plenty of options, especially the switch of play coming out of the back line. And his delivery has been superb. So ball back in the middle. Collins, he's rucked all day. One down by Danks towards Myers. The last goal kicker comes to Dale McRae. To Jasper, to Thexton. Tries to get it out to Smith. Hall is wrapped up by Smith. No prior. Umpire to throw the ball up. 19 points the margin. Deep into this third quarter. Comes to Gizzarelli. High up and under. Armstrong gets front position. Could have been taken high by Bendotti. Wins a free kick. Plays on straight away. Good looking kick. Cut off there by McRae. Spills to Melenas. Sells a little bit of candy. Does Melenas. Shot on goal. It's going to bounce. It might stay in play. Johnson will be first back. No, it's Barnsby. Johnson gives away the free kick. Takes Barnsby high. Under pressure, Barnsby. Now there's a 50-metre penalty. I've said enough in all formats of what I do here, whether I'm doing this or other radio work. I'm not a big fan of the standing rule. It certainly crucifies the opposition. But he did get told to come back, didn't. 50-metre penalty paid. Barnsby takes a kick. Finds Omade, middle of the ground. He goes through the centre. Finds Smith. Smith, that's a good kick. And he's found Hughes, takes the mark in front of Wilson. Omade runs on, takes the mark uncontested. He's Hughes. He's got a big career in front of him. I hope he has a crack at a higher level. Hughes, terrific motor. Still Colts age player. But he looks right at home playing league footy. So Omade kicked the first goal for Southerners. In he comes now. This end it was. Kicks on its way. Will it hold its line? Has it got the distance? Right at the goal line. Spoilt through. Minor score. And that's the kick we've spoken about. It's just that last kick, and they've had a lot of shots on goal. They've just been 2 or 3 metres too far out. There's our man Morgan. Goes inboard. And Beebe, fourth attempt, takes the mark just outside defensive 50. Goes wide. Once again, they find Johnson. Takes the chest mark in front of Gill. Plays on Myers. So this is working methodically up and down the ground. Imperials looks for Armstrong. But he's spoilt by Giannoco. He's moved out of the middle of the ground, Armstrong. I've lost a little bit of drive, but he needs a spell. Danks does the ruck work up against Collins, comes down towards Armstrong, waited. Now it spills out, manages to get some sort of boot onto it, comes towards Johnson. Handballs out to Danks, he'll put it to the top of the square. East is there, that's a good mark by East. Too deep, Max East. Good overhead mark. And he'll go back for back-to-back goals. Kick from 25 metres out, tight angle. Got one in the second quarter, did East. To see if he can finish that terrific mark off. Couple of steps. Not his best kick. Probably close to his worst. Gone out of bounds on the full. Missed everything. So Giannoco to bring the ball back into play. Playing on Armstrong, as Armstrong has a rest up forward. This kick hasn't been a huge problem. It's as they get closer to goal. Gets it outside 50. Danks is there. Over the top came McRae from 3 or 4 deep. Handball comes out towards Gill. Tries to be cute to go in the middle of the ground. Asking a fair bit of Hughes. Gets around one. Handballs it straight towards Wilson. Hughes comes back. Puts a big tackle on. Spills to Thompson. Now Thexton. He's got a bit of space. Hancock gets Fox out of the way, then taps it out towards Gizzarelli. Now Armstrong's found some space in front of Giannoco. Giannoco nearly puts a tackle, nearly sticks. Tries to go in towards Melenis. Does Armstrong. Thompson's there first. Melenis wraps Thompson up. Umpire to throw the ball up. Right on forward 50 for Imperials. That margin, 18 points. So we close in on 3/4 time. Danks goes over the top. Collins stands his ground, wins it down. Comes to Fox. He gets the handball to Hughes. Illegal disposal. The free kick will go the way of Myers. Tim Myers. Hughes stands the mark. Myers goes short, looking for Melenis. Under pressure from Thompson. Takes a terrific contested mark. So directly in front is Melenis. Had quite a few shots in that first half. From about the same distance, he'll kick from 48 metres out directly in front, Melenis. So Kay Melenis. He'll cross 50. Crosses 50 now. Couple of steps. Rangy left footer. Has it got the distance? It has got the distance. And it's got the accuracy. Terrific kick there by Melenis. He gets his name on the goal scoring sheet. Right on his range once again. But he made no mistake this time. 3-1. 24 points the margin. 22 and a half minutes gone in the third quarter. So as the game goes on, they just keep increasing the margin. And they have Armstrong resting up forward. So the two skippers are playing on each other. That's the luxury they have. Gizzarelli's moved into the middle. Now Fox is in the ruck. Wins it down, uses his height, goes towards Ridley, spills out to Hughes, just puts it forward onto his left boot. Collins uses his strength, gets Hancock out of the way. He said, I don't mind this not being in the ruck for a couple of minutes. But Dean Collins, to get the instant response, 15 metres out, directly in front. Couple of skips. Good shot on goal by Collins. So they get that one back after Melenis kicked one from 48. Collins, strong mark. Good centre clearance. Fox won it out. Hughes got onto his left boot. He's been terrific, Hughes. And Collins worked Hancock under the ball, pushed back, took a chest mark, made no mistake from 15 metres.
He's actually been a good player, Collins, around the ball, hasn't he? He provides a lot of protection to his younger players around the ball. They sort of need two of him, don't they?
Well, I think I'm not sure how old he is, but he's not a spring chicken. Normally plays 2 games every week. Now Fox in the middle, wins it down, tries to knock it back towards Jasper. Does get to Jasper, then to Hughes. Handballs back to Fox, and they're out of the centre once again. He goes wide looking for Gill. He has Johnson for company. Gill has got the leg speed. Could have been tackled without it. Johnson does well. Handballs back to Morgan. As Beebe kicks the ball to Hall. 3/4 time. Margin 18 points. 5 goals, 5-35. The home side. 7 goals, 11. 3 goals to 2 in that third quarter in favour of the visitors, Imperials. But it's still game on. They've done well to hang in there. Nullified Imperials' impact in the middle of the ground. Danks made a real impact in there. So did Gizzarelli. But Hughes, well, he was nullifying him in the middle and got heaps of centre clearances himself. Collins kicked a late goal. We'll be back shortly. 18 points the margin. Important game for both sides. More important for Southerners, I think. But I think they're close enough if they're good enough. Imperials have had a lot of shots on goal. We'll be back shortly with the last quarter from Pemberton Sporting Complex.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix, macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. Up until your personal victory. Until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.
So players break from their huddles. The last quarter here at Pemberton Sporting Complex. 18 points to margin. 2 goals to 3 in that third quarter in favour of Imperials. But Southerners, if they're good enough, they're close enough. Let's run through our sponsorship. Filming Footy sponsors: Great Southern Fuels, Agfree, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains, Manjimup Gateway Hotel, Pemberton Hotel. Go and see Big Paul Chookie Fowler. He'll tell you all about St Kilda's woes. He'll give you a nice beer and a good food and a bit of advice all at the same time. Big Paul Fowler. Also, Manjimup Tyre Power, who are the major sponsor of the Lower South West Football League. So just about ready to get underway here. Kimberley Accommodation Group, Goal of the Year, Agfree, Mark of the Day. Away we go. Fox in the middle, up against Danks, wins it down towards Hughes, who's been terrific all game. Comes to Omaday, gets it to Hughes, knocks it forward. It might favour Ridley. Tries to soccer it off the ground. Met there by Hall from Imperials. Gets it out. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Armstrong. Spent most of that third quarter down forward. Goes inboard to Hall. Man on the mark, Jasper. Runs around him. Goes towards Hancock. Pushed down from the back line. Misses a mark he should have taken. Butters up. Gets the ball onto his boot. High up and under. Johnson nudged underneath it by Thompson from Southerners. And he takes the mark right on defensive 50. Has Gill working wide. Finds a couple of metres. Second grab. Takes the mark in front of Corey Johnson. Sawyer provides the lead. Goes inboard. Jasper's found some space. So still maintaining possession. Looks down for Thexton. Slips as he went for the mark. Spills out the back towards Morgan. Been terrific all day. Goes wide. And finds Brajovic. Long kick. Searching kick. Looking for Wademan. Goes for the big hanger. Spills out the back towards Barnsby. Met by Johnson. Spills out of his hands. Gizzarelli tries to run it down. Boundary line wins. Ball to be thrown in. 40 metres out from Imperials' goal. So they've led so far for 3 quarters. Extended that margin to a solitary goal in the third quarter. Danks gets front position. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go the way of Melenis. Melenis kicked a long-range goal in that third quarter. He'll go back. He'll kick from 40. Not the right side for a left footer. It's probably his closest shot he's had all day. So Kane Melenis, 1 in the third quarter. Plenty of shots on goal opening half. In he comes now. Couple of steps. Kicks on its way. Holds its line, does it? Holds its line for a behind. It's hard to tell with the goal umpire. Not a lot of emotion down there. But 1 point signal. Ball back, brought back in. Giannoco comes to Barnsby. It's a handball over. Puts his teammate under pressure. Now it's a high up and under. Asking a lot of Sam McRae. East comes over. Took a terrific mark. Johnson tries to cut through the pack. Manages to get the handball over. Spills towards Gill. Just kicked off the boot. This bloke has been terrific. Hughes manages to get the ball onto his boot. Cleverly finds Thompson. Being called to play on now. Does so. Goes wide. Good kick. Finds Thexton. Centre wing. Far side of the ground. I've got to take some risk. Comes inboard. Finds Jasper. Jasper needs to get it on quick. Looks for the big frame of Collins. He'll make him earn it. Does so. Comes over the top. Had to affect the spoil. Butters up. Gets it to Smith. Gets onto his left boot. Not sure who he was aiming for. Asking a fair bit of Gill. Will it sit for him? Looks a bit proppy, Gill. Did play a game of Colts. It's probably catching up with him. Johnson, out muscled by Ridley. Comes back towards Johnson. Gill ties him up. Dragged it in. Umpire said free kick goes the way of the youngster Riley Gill. Kicks long. High up and under. Armstrong puts his body on the line, takes a terrific chest mark, under pressure, comes to Raymond Myers, goes short, carries the pack, spills out to Giannoco, high up and under. Jasper will be there, Armstrong will come from 3 deep, goes to the big hang, comes to Smith, over to Sawyer, then to Fox, just where he didn't want it, down on his bootlaces, over to Smith, hooks onto his left boot, doesn't land inside the field of play. No, it doesn't. Put back into play by Hancock. Finds Hall. Has Wilson running for him on the far side of the ground. Thexton can't close the gap. Wilson takes it and goes. Just goes long. Not his best kick. Giannoco takes the mark. Right at centre half back. Options in the middle. One of them is Thexton. Takes the overhead mark in front of Johnson. Gets the handball over to Giannoco. Goes long and strong, but who's there? Our man Morgan. It's like he led for it. Goes wide. Ball bounces in front of Wilson. Now he's under a little bit of pressure from Jasper. Manages to get the handball over to Hall. Hall goes back to Morgan. Far side of the ground. Not sure who he was looking for as well. Spills over the back to Giannoco. He'll go wide. Skills are starting to get a little bit sloppy. Far side of the ground. Thompson's there, tries to don't argue, does one, does two. Too many. Umpire says free kick the way of Corey Johnson. Good tackle. They have to take risks now, Southerners, to keep themselves in touch with the top four. Johnson hugs the boundary, looking for Gizzarelli. In front of him came Wilson for Southerners, and the youngster knocks the ball over the boundary line to be thrown in. Right on forward 50 for Imperials. Feel if they get a goal here, it might be a bridge too far. Danks does the ruck work, nearly takes clean possession, tries to butter up, he's still in the play. Push the ball over the boundary line. Once again, it'll be thrown in right on forward 50. Danks up against Fox. Danks gets Fox out of the way, spills towards Armstrong. Getting himself involved, he's spent a quarter, he's refreshed. Spent a quarter in the forward line in that third quarter. Thompson pricks himself up off the ground along with Melenis. So now it's inside forward 50. Fox wins the ball down. Spills out to Hall. Over to Armstrong. Puts it right in the middle corridor. Comes to East. He gets a handball over to Brajovic. Not sure who he was looking for, but it's a dangerous position. Big tackle laid by Wademan. Umpire lets the play go on. Playing for the whistle. Comes towards East. Constable gets it nuts. Brajovic handballs towards Myers. Under pressure. Comes to Johnson. He's tackled straight away. Back to Myers. Tackled as he kicked it. That was by Hughes. Through for a minor score. A goal-saving tackle there by Hughes. Tim Myers thought he had a little bit more time, but Hughes closed the gap just enough to put him off his kick and through for a minor score. Barnsby for Southerners will reload. Has a player running for him in Kabassi and takes the mark in front of Armstrong. Still inside defensive 50. Thompson provides the lead, takes the mark right on 50, plays on straight away, switches play, puts it out towards Gill. Second grab takes the mark, dealt with by Beebe. Silly play by Beebe. Cost his team 50-metre penalty. Be too far out to score from Gill. Has a player, Omade, short, uses him. Right on 50, Wilson stands the mark for Imperials. Omade needs a lead. Collins provides it, gets in front, uses his big frame, couldn't take it on the second grab. Comes to Hancock, drives it to Pords. Danks. McRae took his eye off the ball, then tries to provide a Shepherd. Fox gets it back to Dale McRae, goes inboard looking for Hughes. That one didn't touch the ground, he took the mark, goes wide. Omade found some space, could have played on, decides not to. Have a shot on goal, 45 metres out. Melenis stands the mark, this will take his best.
Omade's been good, he tries hard, he's been providing options all day, Nigel.
He's been terrific. He's been terrific. Played a game of Resi's as well, John.
Wow.
So into his his eighth quarter. In he comes now, Omade. Got a fair piece of that. Omade, has it got the distance? It has.
Great goal. Great goal.
Superb goal from Omade. He gets his second. And they're right back in this. Margin now, 14 points. 9 minutes gone in the last quarter. That was a terrific kick from Omade. He's been the link-up man all day, John, and then he's found himself with a couple of shots on goal. He has kicked two.
Well, as you've alluded to, he's in his sixth quarter. He was nearly close to 50 out then.
So terrific kick. As we move halfway through this last quarter, Fox wins it down. Thexton back to Fox. Fox kick is smothered. Goes forward to that man, Omade. Spills out towards Brajovic, gets it to Morgan, who's been terrific. His kick is cut off by Jasper, goes wide, finds Hughes. How good has this young kid been? Omade provides a lead once again, finds him under pressure from Wilson, takes the mark.
Is he in a similar position, just a bit wider?
It's a bit wider, decides to pass and finds a youngster in Sawyer.
Great kick.
And then Collins to push back to the goal square. Jaden Sawyer, second game of league footy. Up and coming youngster, good size. Well, this will take his best. This will get him up and about. Sawyer kicks on its way. High, up, under, through!
Oh, what a goal.
Sawyer! Terrific kick by the youngster. And they're right back in this now. 2-0 last quarter. Favour of the home side. And that margin is now 8 points.
Did you see this coming, Nigel, at three-quarter time?
I didn't, but played against Southerners a lot, and you just can't count them out. Even if you're 10 goals in front, they're always a sneaky chance. But they know what's on the line too, John. Ball back in the middle. Danks takes clean possession. Then he's tackled by Fox. Unlucky not to win the free kick there, Fox. Right in the middle of the ground. Umpire will do it all over again. Jasper picks himself up off the ground, gives it back. Fox reaches over the top, knocks it forward towards Dale McRae, knocks it out towards Fox again. Being taken high, Fox.
Yeah, it was there.
Danks come in hard. Been a good move too, putting Fox into the middle of the ground. High, up and under. Morgan will come from 3 deep. Omade tries to affect the spoil, but Morgan takes the chest mark just inside defensive 50. Stood his ground. Bo Morgan. Wide, long, strong. Looks for Gizzarelli. Fexon will come in. Couldn't get there. Gizzarelli takes the mark right in front of the commentary box. Couple options short. Has Melenis short. Ball sits up. Melenis takes the mark. Then he plays on. Gets the ball inside 50. Looks for Waderman. Waderman couldn't take the chest mark. Comes out to Myers. In comes McRae. Rides the bump. Could be in trouble, McRae. Umpire says no.
No, good decision.
Ball to be thrown up right on forward 50. 8 points the margin. 12.5 minutes gone. Fox wins it down. Comes to Armstrong. Spills out to Jasper. Just chucked onto his boot. Omade couldn't take the mark. Gill runs down Johnson. Johnson manages to get his kick away. But it's marked by Tayton Smith. Put it out to Lachlan Hughes. Does so. Sits up in the air. Hughes nearly takes the mark. And nearly gives away the free kick. Good contest. He's got Wilson for company. Experienced Wilson wins out. Handballs over towards Brajovic. Now they're going back forward again. Good kick by Brajovic. Finds the chest of Waderman in front of Barnsby. Right on 50. Player's going to run into a pocket. Can use him. Decides not to. Dottie's best kick. Marks drop. Spills out towards Barnsby. Long and strong. Goes to Hughes. Takes the mark in front of Brajovic. Centre wing. They've taken a risk. Goes to
kick.
Thexton. Thexton hits the ground running. Tackled there by Armstrong. Terrific tackle. Now Imperials have the numbers. One of them is Wilson. Thexton's there. Picks the ball up. Tackled by Morgan.
It was an important tackle in the middle of the ground because he was gone, wasn't he? He was off.
Terrific tackle by Armstrong. They have to take a risk. Now Thexton's doing the ruck work. Danks takes clean possession, wrapped up by Thexton. Umpire will do it all over again. Right on the half-forward line. I've never seen a Thexton ruck in my life. Didn't win that one down. Comes to Danks. Barnsby misses a mark he should have taken. Spills over to Hall. Then to Gizzarelli. Drives the ball long. McRae playing in front of East. Takes the mark. They peel for him. Goes wide. Looking for Smith. And he takes the mark. Far side of the ground. Had a good second half, Smith. He'll hug the boundary line. Look up there for Hughes. Comes to 3 deep. Nearly takes the mark on the third grab.
Oh, you'd nearly paid.
Never controlled it. Umpire comes in as Gill makes a tackle on Johnson. We'll throw the ball up. Centre wing. 8 points the margin. Fox this time does the ruck work up against Armstrong. I've never seen an Armstrong win the ruck work. I've seen him do this though. Wins the centre clearance, gets it back. Over the top came East. Couldn't take the mark. Spills out towards Myers. Cleverly taps it back to East. Tries to get the handball over to Raymond Myers. Spills to Barnsby. Tackled by Myers. In they come. Wilson's there. Has to try and hold the ball in. Comes to Tim Myers. Tries to get the handball back to East. Spills to McRae. Nearly smothered. Goes wide looking for Fox. Couldn't take it on the second grab. 3-1. One of them is Hall. Hall gets onto his left boot, looks wide for Wademan, bounces in front of him, and Thompson goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 30 metres out from Imperials' goal.
Just over the 15-minute mark, so probably about 10 minutes left.
So still plenty of time. Dangerous spot for Southerners here. Fox gets front position. They'll have to reload. Everyone's under pressure. 8 points the margin. Been a terrific game of footy. Fox does the ruck work up against Ince, but he taps it straight to Gizzarelli. Went for a snap on goal. Didn't have time. Comes to Armstrong. Back to Hall. Gets around a couple. Tackled. Gets it back to Armstrong. Crosses 50. Comes in board. Armstrong finds East. East takes the mark. Well, this will be against the flow of play. Southerners have had all the play early stages last quarter. But East kicked one in the second quarter. No more important than the one he's having now. Kick from 30. Doesn't waste any time. Directly in front. Shot's on its way. No mistake. East gets one back for the visitors. Margin back out to 14 points. 16 and a half minutes gone last quarter. Great kick from Armstrong. Just bullocked his way through. Had a little bit of time to assess the situation and found East uncontested 30 metres out. Strong hands, East. Took a really good mark in that third quarter. Done well to convert under pressure. Armstrong makes his way back into the middle. Danks to do the ruck work. Up against Collins. Up they go. One down by Danks. Straight to Armstrong. Wrapped up by Fexer, but it gets it back to Danks. Drives the ball long. Looking for East. He looks like he's got glass in his boots. Couldn't run. Comes to McRae. Spills out to Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli's wrapped up. Umpire says holding the ball. And young Wilson takes the free kick deep inside 50. Wilson goes short. Asks a fair bit of Ridley. Carries over the pack. Myers will be first there. Had Jasper. Spills out towards Hall. Nearly lost his feet. Manages to get the ball up to Armstrong, who's been terrific. Handballs over to Raymond Myers to Danks. Puts him under pressure. Cuts through 3 or 4 Southerners players. High up and under. McRae goes for the chest mark. In comes Myers. He's got the speed. Thompson's there, the skipper for Southerners. Stacks on the mill. Umpire come in. Throw the ball up. Just inside forward 50 for Imperials. They're pressing. 14 points the margin. Good game of footy. Comes back to Danks. He'll snap onto his right boot. Gizzarelli, 1 grab, 2. Couldn't take it on the 3rd. Spills out towards Thompson. He sees the ball over the boundary line. Umpire will throw it in. 35 metres out from Imperials' goal. If they get one here, it might be too much for Southerners to come back. Comes to Myers. Just chucks it onto his boot. Wademan will be first there. Has Brajovic out the back. Has time to settle. Had 2 options. They spoiled each other. Best defence they've had. Smother comes in. Barnsby. That smother was from Wademan. Barnsby was about to clear. Ball to be thrown in. Far side of the ground. 30 metres out from Imperials' goal. 14 points the margin. No ruckman wins it down. McRae tries to barge his way through. Spills out to Hall. Been good today. Tries to get around a couple. Took too much time. Wrapped up by Jasper. Wins the free kick right on defensive 50. Goes wide. And finds Stackpole. Slipped as he kicked it. Gets into the arms of Brajovic. Drives the ball forward. Gizzarelli sitting out the back. See how it sits. Wademan sockers it off the ground once. Misses everything, goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. Right on the behind post. 14 points the margin. 19 and a half minutes gone last quarter. Danks up against Collins. Good duel. Danks wins it down to Armstrong. Gets a handball over. Looking for Wademan. Rushed through for a behind by Barnsby. 15 points the margin. Cream rising to the top. Armstrong's been instrumental, middle of the ground. Trying to get his team forward, secure a spot in the finals. This will go a long way to doing that. Ball's brought back into play. Finds Ridley, still deep inside defensive 50. Ridley Goes short. Goes through the hands. Gives Imperials another chance. Comes to that man Armstrong. Couldn't get his handball away. Spills back to Ridley. Wrapped up straight away by Myers. Umpire will throw the ball up. Great game of footy. They've had it down their end for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Imperials. Danks gets front position. Tries to win the ball out. Still in dispute. Comes back to Danks. Now Collins is on the ground. Here comes Danks. Tries to bullock his way through. Tackled. Comes back out to Armstrong. Setting off the pack. Wrapped up by Omaday. Ball to be thrown up. Forward 50. Imperials. 21 minutes gone. Collins wins the ball down. Comes back to Armstrong. Just chucks it onto his boot. Gizzarelli in front. Mark nearly taken. Spills to Gizzarelli. Doesn't need any more chances than that. Drop Mark. Spills back to Gizzarelli. Made no mistake. He gets his third. It's going to be tough now for the home side. That margin, 21 points. 68 to 47. 9-14, 7-5.
Those two stoppages there, Nigel. The first one, Armstrong was by himself 3 metres off the pack and got it. And then the next stoppage straight after that, they manned him tight. He still got it and got it in. Like, he would have had 35 touches easily, wouldn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Been sensational. As we spoke about, John spent the third quarter mainly in the forward line, but geez, he's made an impact going back in the centre. But you got to man players like that up. I know he did get the ball out on the second one, but you can't let him hang off the pack, because if he's got time, he's going to hit the target. Beautiful foot skills. Ball out of the centre. Cunts to Melenis. Handball to Hall. Up and about again. Options. One of them, Waderman. Waderman takes the mark in front of Thompson. And if the sting hasn't gone out of the game for Sudden's fight back with Gizzarelli's goal, you think this would take all of it. Waderman. Kick 1 goal, opening quarter. This for his second. This keeps presenting. Charlie Waderman, kick from 40, tight angle, kicks on its way. Kicks on its way. Narrow all the way through for a minor score. 22 points the margin. 23 minutes gone. Ball's brought back into play. Smith ball's over. Managed to juggle, take the mark. Still deep inside defensive 50 in front of Raymond Myers. Plenty of short options. Now he goes wide. Looks for Hughes. He's going to have to come from 3 deep. Carries all of them. Lands on the chest of Tim Myers. Goes inboard. Finds Melenis. So Melenis, he'd like to be taking these marks. I reckon 15 metres closer. Giannoco stands the mark. Has Wilson. Short.
He's
Hit yourself a goal.
Another player that's presented all day, though, hasn't he?
So Melenis to kick after the siren, just to increase the margin to 28 points. In he comes now. Kicks on its way. It's coming back. Coming back. It's hit the post. This sums up his day from range. Melenis, a terrific game of footy. Sudden has got themselves back to within 8 points halfway through that last quarter. But a couple of late goals to Imperials. And they've all but sewn their spot up in the top 4. Not many injuries. I think those players, potentially just looking at it from here, that played reserves, they might have just run out of a little bit of steam. Run out of a little bit of steam in that last quarter. But they gave it everything, Southerners, and just found themselves short. 47 to 70, so 23 points the margin. Real short quarter of footy. Omaday got a couple for the home team. Thexton 1, Jasper 1, Fox 1, Collins 1, and Sawyer, the youngster, kicked a terrific goal. And that did take the margin back to 8 points, and they were close enough. But after that, they just could not get the ball forward. And for the winners, Waderman kicked 1, Jordan Johnson kicked a terrific goal first quarter. Max East kicked 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. Gizzarelli 1 in the second, third and fourth. He ended up with 3. Tim Myers 1 and Kane Melenis got 1 as well. So that was a big game of footy, important for both clubs. Southerners might struggle now to make the top 4, but they were gallant in defeat. Dean Collins tried his heart out in the ruck. Fox also went in there, presented well down forward. The youngster Lockie Hughes, impressed with him every time I see him. He was terrific. Young Riley Gill, he did play a game of Colts as well. But they were outstanding today, and yes, they're going to be tough. Last year's 2 grand final sides, Southerners were one of them. They didn't get over the line last year against D Mill, but both of those sides are going to find it tough to get themselves into the finals. Find themselves tough to get into the finals. So we'll make our way down onto the ground. Plenty of support. Plenty of support for the skipper. Well done, mate. So voted. You just talk. So we're with Brandy Armstrong, the skipper for Imperials, the judge, best player on ground today, mate. Fantastic effort.
Yeah, bloody, it was a bit of a scrappy game, but happy to get the win.
So the deal with you playing forward line in the third quarter, mate, was that just a rest up for the last quarter?
I don't know, I think it's just a bit of an age thing. Just keep the legs a bit fresh and get a bit of rest.
So that was an important game for both teams, obviously, to secure the 4, because from 3 down to 6, it's quite tight, isn't it? So Southerners, they had to win today, but you guys just about have signed up top 4. Big game next week against the Imperials. So
yeah.
How are you finding your leadership, mate? I don't know how long you've been in the leadership as a captain, but how are you finding that?
Yeah, it's a bit different. I haven't really done it before, but it's got its challenges, but I suppose it's good that you get to, lead some of the younger guys and talk to them, about the game and, assess the game and do it week to week.
So speaking young guys, I think your leadership is by example, and I think that's the best way to do it. But your young guys in Constable and Bravich, and even young Max East, he showed a clean pair of hands today. It's good to see those guys come through, isn't it?
Yeah, just good like that. We know they can do it. They just got to get a bit of confidence, and once they got it, they're just the same culture, really, isn't it?
So I've only seen a couple of games of the Imperials today. We'll wrap this up shortly, mate. But Wademan and Melenis normally play backline, but they look quite comfortable down forward. And I think it's sort of straightened you up a little bit. Are you finding that as well? Or
yeah, it depends on who we got each week, I reckon. It's nice to be versatile and they can play both ends. So we'll see what we do each week and keep the opponent guessing.
And I don't want to take the mick out of Kane too much, but he just looked like he was about 3 metres out from his range. He looked like his body was going to break in half because he does have a lot of soft tissue injuries, but he keeps presenting, doesn't he?
Maybe fresh at the start of the game he's got the range, but I think, a little bit tired by the end.
But mate, I really like your game. I appreciate what you do because as a leader, back in my day, by example, you do it superbly and wish you all the best, mate. Big game coming up next week. Outstanding. Well done.
Thanks. See you later.
Thanks, mate. Bye. That was Brandy Armstrong, our winner of the Archie Thongs today, judged best player on ground. So terrific win by Imperials, 23 points the margin, plenty of scoring shots, 25 scoring shots to 12. Southern's got themselves back to within 8 points in that last quarter, courtesy of a really nice kick from a tight angle by Jaden Sawyer. Imps had the response. They run out 23-point winners. Big game against D-Mill next week to really secure. If they can win that one, the top 4's set in place. So well done to Brandy, his team, and Wayne Barnon. Terrific. Thanks to Connor Ipsum for coming up. And we'll see you next week from Cogen Up v Bridgetown.
The relationship with Great Southern Fuels started with my father 50 years ago, delivering fuel in drums back in the day, which has progressed into large tanks now. They've been very reliable and efficient on time with service.
We run a mixed farming operation here on Chapman Valley, just north of Geraldton, managing about 5,500 hectares. We've been with what is now Great Southern Fuels for in excess of 20 years. There's always challenges and situations that catch you out, and they've been really, really good at accommodating that for us.
We've been with Great Southern for 28 years now. Look, they've given us exceptional service and they're price competitive. So it's wonderful.
They're a great company to work for. They're a family-owned business. They will support you and whatever is required.
I've got Alan's phone number, I've got Steve's phone number, and I know if I ring it I'll get an answer, which is really cool.
The relationship's great and the service is second to none. So I ring up and it doesn't matter if it's Saturday, Sunday or whenever I ring up, I'll have fuel. So we've never been held up or had a problem with them. So my theory is that's what I'm about. It's about service and the relationship, and it's been fantastic.
It's very important to maintain long-term customers' loyalty and give back what you can when you can.
Great Southern Fuels is one of the few companies that I've been involved with that gives so much back to the local community. We support so many different organisations and country, sporting clubs, field days, farming organisations.
We endeavour to give back. The community looked after us by dealing with us, and we just gave it back in what we could do. Footy club needs a hand, well, it's because they need a hand that you give it to, not the other way around.
When you look at how they conduct themselves in the community, they've been a great supporter of the Livestock Transporters Association. Just incredible what they do.
They do a lot for the community, which is good. And not only late race either, it's right through where all his outlets are all over the state. He's been excellent with that.
We tend to sponsor major events, the Great Southern Football Carnival, Colts Carnival.
Across the board, I think sponsorships are a very important part of any community. I grew up in Lake Grace and footy was my life down there for a long time. Great Southern sponsored Lake Grace back then, and along with many other footy clubs and hockey clubs and tennis clubs, and we might not always be making a big deal out of it, but the people that get sponsored, they understand and they relate to it.
They do a lot for the town, so I can't fault them. They've been brilliant.
Great Southern Fuels have got strong values, and that shows in what they do. They walk the talk and they do what they do.
You deal with people that are there and care about your business, and these people have been absolutely wonderful.
I'm very proud of what Mum and Dad have achieved in their life and how they've structured the business, and it's all structured around our customers and looking after people and being in the right areas where we need to sell the fuel and have the support there and sponsorship. Being part of the community, even though we're not in that community, but our workers are there, and that's part of us.
Our name is derived from the Greek prefix, macro, large. From the day we were born, this has been a promise for the future. We have grown through dedication, sweat, self-denial, faithful to our mission of being on the side of those who put themselves on the line. Through our name, we celebrate the greatness of those who believe there are no obstacles higher than their dreams. The courage to get back up after falling. The obstinacy of believing until the end. These are the values embedded in our logo. The Macron Hero. It's a celebration of sacrifice and tenacity. up until your personal victory, until your arms are in the sky. Become your own hero.